Buenas and Hafade, Manana Sizuus. So that is a wonderful tradition. I think we need to have that more often, is starting our ceremonies with a blessing. It's only appropriate, especially, especially because we're in a homeland, but also because this is an anthropology and sociology program. So we're meant to be connecting and recognizing the community. So that is so wonderful that we began that way. What I'd like to do is I'd like to thank all of you, Sizuas Maasi, for being here today. This is a very special occasion. We'll be getting to hear from some of the professors and students, myself and Senator Taitano Nelson, about this field school. It's an amazing event. We are here to celebrate its 20th year of existence. I don't think there's a field school at the university that's been around that long. And that really says something about the commitment by the administration and by the staff, and what fine opportunities our students are getting. So with that, I'd like to recognize those that are here and call them forward. We'll start off with Dean Selman, who is the Dean of the Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and the Assistant Dean, Ms. Bamba Santos. We have those that envisioned this many years ago and brought it to life, and those that have been continuing its journey. We have Dr. Rebecca Stephenson and Dr. Hiro Kurashina, who are here. They reached out those many years ago to professors at the universities in Alabama and Washington. So we just recognized from a distance Dr. Bruce Wheatley and Dr. Fuentes, who have been part of this journey. And then, of course, Dr. Johnson, who has carried this torch these many years. I'd also like to call forward the senators and then the students. So we have here today Senator Taitano Nelson and Senator Pito Terlahi. And then if I could call forward the students as well. Which do you prefer? Why don't we call the current 2009? The 2009. 19. Which, by the way, we've noticed that it's an all-female cohort, so it really is the year of the women this year. And I'd like to throw out a suggestion before we get too far. You know, it just comes to mind seeing everybody here, and those of us who have come from many walks of life, many different academic fields that have participated and benefited our community by participating in this, that we should have a barbecue for all 100 or 200 of us when you get back. Is Teresa Uggan and Eugene Anderson, are you here in the audience? Or, okay, go ahead and join us as well. So Senator Taitano Nelson and I were very especially attached to this field school. We are both anthropology majors. Not that you need to be an anthropology or sociology major to participate. People from every academic field, or even those that are just going to the university to enrich their lives and experiences, can participate and really benefit from this. But we have both been on the field school ourselves, and so we are especially grateful and proud to be here for this resolution. I was one of the members of the 1999 group. I was a team leader. I was a graduate, just starting my graduate school experience, and I was a team leader at the time. And I sat for many an hour with Dr. Stephenson and Dr. Kurashina as we developed the course. They kindly let me assist in that. And it's something that I have promoted every semester with my students because it really is such a life-altering experience. And when you're at the university, it's one of those phases in your life where you actually have the time to participate in such an experience, to go and experience another culture, to really try to understand them from their perspective is so important. And I think that really is a lesson for all of us here on Guam, that we are here in a homeland, but we also have many cultures here. And I just encourage all of us to really try to understand each other from our own perspective and to understand those cultural values that we have to offer the community. And so again, I really encouraged students every semester to participate in something like this. You remember it your entire life. You're quite changed when you come back, even if you're there just for a week or two. It really is something that changes you, and it's with you forevermore, and it's something that you bring forward along with you. I think if I asked everybody here who's participated, they would each be able to say that as well. The year that we participated, it started out as an ethnoprimatology program, where it brought together anthropology and primatology. Ubud and other villages in Bali are known for having monkey forests. They have a temple at these forests oftentimes, and then the monkeys, the macaques, they will recognize this as something positive that they can benefit from. People are leaving offerings, and it's a sacred place where they're less likely to be chased off, and so it's sort of this sanctuary for them. And we wanted to study the interaction between the human community and the primate community and see how we could better it and have the entire community learn how to continue to benefit from it. So with that, I'm going to do a shout out to F24, my favorite macaque. She's probably not there anymore, but I like to think of her as still being there. It's one of my favorite all-time photos, actually. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn this over to Senator Nelson so that she can share a little bit about her experiences as well.
You can tell it really moved Senator Dr. Kelly Marsh because she's crying. So, of course, you know, to the students, we focused a lot on community sustainability. So as we moved, I guess, forward in years, every area was a different study. And I'd like to also recognize my classmate, Charissa. We're still not far away from each other. We're down the hall. She works in Senator Tulahi's office. And it was a beautiful moment for me because it was a time to come out of yourself. You left all your comforts, you left all your securities, not really knowing what you were stepping into. So, you know, other than the curriculum that is provided for the field school, allow every day to be an unknowing adventure. Don't try so hard to look at what's going to be next. Just live in the moment. And also allow yourself the opportunity to embrace the community and learn from it, because the thing that I saw, especially in Soraya, was that they worked together as a fishing community to feed one another. And I think that that was a very poignant part of my experience, because we can do so much more on Guam if we just work together and want everyone to succeed. And so I feel that you know, embrace yourself for this journey, open your heart up to this experience, and don't grumble. You know, you might have a little bit of discomfort, but everything will be beautiful if you allow it to be. All right, thank you. And I'd like to thank Dr. Stephenson and Dr. Johnson because, you know, they're great adventurers, and especially Dr. Hiro. So I thank you also that this was a a welcoming and also a monumental time in my life because I got to know myself a little bit more, see how self-absorbed I really was in my comforts, and you showed me a different way. You showed me that security and money was really not not success that we should strive for in life, but it is to help one another. So thank you for that.
And I'd also like to point out, Senator Nelson is known for being a very strong person, but I saw her get a little emotional as well. So with this, I would like to call forward Dr. Johnson to share a little bit with us.
Good morning, everyone. This is a very exciting morning for us. The audience is filled with former students and parents and current students and so many people in the community who have stepped forward to assist us in this journey. This is the 20th anniversary of this endeavor that began with this great vision of Dr. Stephenson and Dr. Kuroshina. And with the support of the university and the wider community on Guam, we've been able to sustain this effort. What stands out to us as we look back is how many people in this community of Guam have stepped forward to lend a helping hand, to assist these cohorts of students year after year. Just this semester alone, over the past 2 months in our preparations for our field school, we've had people open their homes to us. We've had community leaders, academics step into our classroom, from Dr. Underwood to Dr. Flores to Dr. Rubenstein to Alan Jameson. These are people that have wealth of knowledge and experience with community development. We've had TASA, the Navigation Society, invite us down to the canoe house to learn about their efforts and the role that their efforts play in the community, in the process of community development. So a few weeks ago, this cohort of 9 women, with so much on their plates, so much reading, so much preparation, so many classes they're taking, they're working outside of the university, they have so much on their plates and taking care of their families and contributing in so many ways. They came up with this idea that they wanted to build a hut for Charter Day. And my immediate reaction was, no. Bad idea. Please don't do this. You have too much work to do already. And very lovingly and humbly, they said, no, it's okay, Dr. J. We want to do this. And I said, no, you don't know what you're getting into. This is a wrong path to go down. And I was very adamant in my thought about this. And they were very patient and very loving, and they kept saying, no, it's okay. We thought that this exercise in coming together and building a hut for Charter Day at the University of Guam would be not only a gift to the university, but a learning experience for us in what it takes to build community. And at the heart of community, of course, is unity. So I sat back and I said, all right, you're going to learn from your mistake. Go ahead. So 2 days before Charter Day, they said they're going to start Sunday morning. And so I show up to lend a helping hand to see how they're doing, and no one is there. And I said, oh my God, these poor guys, they don't know what they've got themselves into. Sunday evening, I return. And some of them are there, and they're sitting down in the grass, and they're weaving little bracelets and shrimp. And I'm like looking at them going, it's going to take a lot more to build a hut than that. And they smiled at me, and they pointed, and I turned around, and I saw all their brothers and uncles. And even though I've been here for 21 years, it was such a reminder of how community development and the core concepts of community development are in the DNA of the people of Guam. And they knew from the start that it was not just them, but they had a community, they had large families, they had friends that would step forward to realize this vision that they had. So it's great learning. I'm constantly learning. The professors are constantly learning about the richness of this community and how many people continue to step forward and lend a helping hand. Another very important component of this field school is in Bali. How many people in Bali step forward to also lend a helping hand, so lovingly, so generously? And one of the highlights for us over these years has been bringing many of these Balinese to Guam. So over the years, we've brought professors, and we've brought social workers, and we've brought community development practitioners and artists and filmmakers to Guam. And so there's this really very deep, fruitful connection between Guam and Bali. Our students, our cohorts go to Bali, and we've been able to bring folks to Guam. And of course, the highlight for us a few years ago was when Talina Nelson's class and Charissa Uggin's class decided after their experience in Bali that they wanted to bring the mother of the family who hosts us to Guam to reciprocate that love and hospitality. And so this is a Balinese lady, a mother of a family, the Mawar family, and they organized her passport and her ticket, and she came to Guam for this amazing 2 weeks, and she was hosted by these students. Her first night here, she was having dinner at the governor's house. I've never met the governor in 21 years of being on Guam. So this connection and exchange between Guam and Bali has been very enriching for all of us, and we hope that many more students and many more friends in both communities will benefit from this experience. Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
You know, I'm reminded that one of the things that really struck me when I was there is seeing that ancestral connection. So hearing for the first time that they referred to their rose as Jalan, and it's so similar to Chalan, and other words that came out during that time. And so for me, it was also this beautiful journey of being able to see that connection going back in time for thousands of years. I'd also like to see if Dr. Stevenson has a few words to say.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure and honor to see so many of you here this morning to recognize a unique situation at the University of Guam that we are celebrating, and the celebration is actually tomorrow when this team departs for Bali. And I envy them very much, and I wish I could go, but I'm working on some other projects at the moment. But I promise for all of you, as you know, a heartfelt experience that will change your life, now and always. To our two senators, who I knew as undergrad and then some grad students at UOG, it's been very heartfelt over the years watching them grow and develop and learn and become leaders in so many ways in their community here on Guam. It's a great pleasure to acknowledge two former students this morning with us as our senators here at the Guam Legislature. For the audience, also, thank you very much for being here, and this indicates your interest and support in the 20 years of the Bali Project. How many of you have been to Bali who are in the audience? Can I see hands? Oh, seriously, that's awesome. Then you know, and there isn't much else that I have to say, except to thank you once again and to remind you, those of you who have not yet gone to Bali, it's there. And truly, we believe it will be a life-changing experience. Thank you, legislature members, for this particular event this morning. It is a complete surprise and very, very dear to my heart. And thank all of you who are present and to the team going to Bali. It'll be tough. You'll get tired, you'll be hot. Things will happen that you haven't expected, but work with it. Go through with it, and you'll bring home treasures forever. Thank you very much.
So some of your experience will be having some of the most wonderful food, though. Almost everything there is grown organically, and you can just tell the difference from when it leaves the kitchen, you already know. So you'll have that to look forward to. We'd like to hear from the students. I'll call Ms. Charissa Uggan first.
Hi, buenas, good morning. I was part of the 2007 cohort, and it's about 12 years ago, so some things have changed. I'm no longer Charissa Uggan. I am now Charissa Manabusan, but that's okay. I think there's so many things that I can share to reflect on the experience in Bali and the very meaningful things that we learned in regards to community development. I think maybe one of the most significant things that we came away with is that community development essentially should always be a grassroots process. It's most effective in that sense when the people in that community have a say, and that process is based on their core beliefs and their values. And I'm a little nervous. But so one thing that we encountered with many of the indigenous people there, particularly with the indigenous weavers, like in the village of Soraya, that Senator Nelson had mentioned, is that the challenges that they face are kind of the same that we do here in regards to wanting to preserve their culture, their identity, and the integrity of the textiles that they produce. And this field study was really great because not only were we there and able to hear a lot of the challenges, but we were able to see the different ways and the different solutions that these groups had come up with. And I think there was a foundation called Threads of Life that are doing very remarkable things with a lot of the indigenous textile co-ops in Indonesia, which are mainly, I believe, women who possess these traditional knowledge. And one of the things that they were facing with the global tourism economy was that there was this pressure to produce these textiles in a way that shortcuts tradition and took away from the integrity of these materials, which were basically storyboards of their culture. And so what the Threads of Life Foundation did was work with these co-ops of women to help them to not only preserve their identity and cultural values, but to also participate in the global economy in a way that is balanced, in a way where they have a say in how they develop. And so that was really great. Of course, field school study is an essential component of, I think, any community development course, because it gives us the opportunity to see from a different culture and see other worldviews. But what's special about this Bali Field School study coming from Guam and being a Chamorro woman was that, like Senator Marsh had said, there's so many similarities, so many ancient connections, so that when we do go there, we're not only able to see from another perspective, but you're also able to discover really valuable and essential connections that we have with people that are seemingly different. And so I think that is one of the other things that's really great, and I think that has made this field school study very successful. And I'm really happy that it's been 20 years, it's hard to believe, and that this field study is still ongoing, and I pray that we continue to afford this opportunity to many of the students at UOG. Okay, thank you.
I would also like to call forward Eugene Anderson.
So prior to this, Dr. J emailed us and asked us to write something. So like a good student, I wrote this before I came in. Manana si Zeus, and salamat pagi as they say in Bali. My name is Gene Anderson, and I am an alumni of the 2015 Bali Field School cohort. I would first like to acknowledge all of the amazing students who have taken part in this momentous journey of traveling to Bali and representing our island in the most respectful way, which has allowed future students to walk the same path. There are many experiences that stand out when I think back to 4 years ago and my time in the Bali Field School. But the most memorable that comes to mind is that we were a cohort of firsts. We were the first cohort to experience Nyepi, a day of silence where almost the entire island for one full day remained peaceful and quiet, practicing fasting, meditation, and reflection, reminiscent of our Holy Week. This was followed by a celebratory parade full of music, dance, and fun. We also broke barriers and stigmas as we traveled with an awesome individual whose only difference from the rest of us was that he required the assistance of a wheelchair. Someone whom we carried up hundreds of steps to the top of the tallest mountain in Bali, Mount Agung. Someone who later became a lifelong friend and a brother to myself and many others. In this respect, Bali has reshaped my thinking and my ideas of the concept of learning. In many instances, our learning environment consisted of a flat surface sitting Indian style while listening to our mentors teach us in what we noticed was a sort of storytelling approach, equipped with open dialogue and sharing of ideas. It was a calm and serene with beautiful landscapes and architecture that left you feeling centered and eager to learn. As such, we took these concepts and I try to apply them in my daily work as a substance abuse counselor at Sanctuary Incorporated. I often conduct my drug and alcohol groups for adolescents outside, where my clients can experience our island's beauty and are encouraged to share ideas and motivate each other on their path of sobriety. My time in the Bali Field School has taught me to be more open-minded to other cultures and to truly embrace our concept of Inafa Maulik. Since then, I now make it a goal every year to travel someplace new, not as a tourist, but as an enthusiast eager to share ideas with other cultures. I now have a deeper appreciation for our islands here in the Marianas and the rest of Micronesia. A special thank you to Dr. J for believing in me all these years and for encouraging me to be the best version of myself, as I know he's done for others, and for continuing to guide groups of students on this endeavor. This truly is a well-deserved accomplishment for our university. Andonkulo na si Zeus Masi senators for acknowledging the importance of this field school and the University of Guam. And may this course continue to inspire future students to break barriers, motivate others, and bridge gaps in our communities. Después malago za besongan si Zeus in Fanbinindisi, Hamzu, Ginin Hami, Bali Field School. Thank you all, and God bless you, all of us here at the Bali Field School.
So we see members who have benefited that are now participating in our community in so many walks of life, from the creative industries and artistic industries to the governor's office, the AG's office, formerly part of the Homeland Security Office, as senators, and so many other fields, social work programs like Sanctuary and so forth. It's just wonderful to see how they are getting out there and taking those experiences and bringing it with them so that we are being able to feel and experience that what those lessons they've learned through them. So I'd like to call Senator Nelson to read the first part of the resolution. Either there or from the resolution.
Relative to recognizing and congratulating the Bali Field School on its 20th anniversary and the impact it has made on the lives of its students. Be resolved by the Committee of Rules of Iminay 35 na Legislatura ng Guahan, whereas in 1999, the anthropology program at the Universidad Guahan began participating in a collaborative primatology research with Udayana University in Bali. And later in 2004, the sociology program established the Bali Field School embedded within the community development course. And whereas the Mawar family in Ubud, Bali has served as host to some scores University of Guam students for the past 20 years and have cared for and been their family away from home. and who in 2008 visited Guam themselves and were hosted by these same students. And whereas the Threads of Life organization in Ubud, Bali, that works with culture and conservation to alleviate poverty throughout the islands of Indonesia has accompanied Guam students in their field study, in which they visit and live with village families and learning about efforts to revive traditional textiles and culture. In turn, they visited Guam in 2011 as guests to showcase textiles and to run workshops in the community and schools about natural dyeing and cultural sustainability. And
whereas the Bali Field School has connected the islands of Guam and Bali in meaningful ways by inviting a great number of other scholars, filmmakers, and cultural leaders to Guam to share and engage our community in critical discourse on the preservation of culture and values. And whereas, for the past 20 years, University of Guam students studying community development have ventured to Bali, Indonesia, to immerse themselves in meaningful and life-changing cross-cultural experiences, and who learn firsthand from community development practitioners, local and international scholars, cultural artisans, and community organizers. And whereas the Bali Field School has proven to be an invaluable educational experience for students of community development, to travel abroad, to live and experience an entirely new culture altogether, and most especially, apply their knowledge in their communities back home. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Community on Rules of I-35 na Legislatura en Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the legislature and the people of Guam, recognize and congratulate the Bali Field School on its 20th anniversary and the impact it has made on the lives of its students.
Is there any way the students can just go to the back? We can't fit everybody in the photograph. Stand up on the side? All the students. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad.
Hi, my name is Dee Cruz. I am the class of 2011 Bali. Here are my two Three. I'm sorry. Three roommates with me. I'd just like to give a message to the ladies that are leaving tomorrow. And from our class or our classes to yours, first and foremost, Dr. J, you changed my life. Yes. Everything that he says, take into heart. Everything that you have here, bring with you. Everything that you, when you get there, share. Be kind. Be merciful. Be humble. Be loving. And every experience that you take with you, bring back here and repeat the cycle. We have a really great family of 15 of us, and we still are together and strong. You guys will be the same. And I know when you guys get forward in life, it's been 8 years for us, but we're still as one strong family. So my message is to you is to just do what I said, keep the cycle continuing, and Dr. J is going to change your life.
Taramakasi from the spring class 2013 Bali Field School. I'd like to thank Dr. J, Dr. Stephenson, the Dean, of course, thank you for this wonderful program. It's allowed us to develop and grow in a cultural aspect of recognizing the Balinese people and immersing ourselves in the culture. Thank you, Dr. J, for opening our hearts and minds. These are my colleagues, and we missing us several more. Thank you.
So in closing, we also would like to present, on behalf of Senator Talina and myself, who co-sponsored this resolution, copies of the resolution to take to Bali to give to the Mawar family as they are part of this, and to the Threads of Life program. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, for our families in Bali. So I just want to end by saying that the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, don't be afraid of it. It has so much to offer. Look at all the wonderful people that are participating in it, and how we're all now working with the community and bringing those skills back. So if you haven't participated in a program like this, really, I can only encourage you wholeheartedly to do so. Sejus Maasi for everybody who was here today, to the Dean and the Assistant Dean for supporting these programs, for Dr. Stephenson and Kurashina for initiating it, and for Dr. Johnson for continuing it these many years. Have a good day, and thank you again so much for being here.